Alright, Soraka, Shen, Morgana, Lee Sin, who's their last band? Shyvana. So the Shyvana band, I'm actually wondering about that one.
I think what might happen here is Ender might choose someone a little slower in the jungle, so he doesn't want to be counter jungled really hard. So we may see like a Nautilus pick or something like an Amumu, something a little slower.
I'm thinking we're gonna see a Mundo jungle from at least one of the two teams. I know both teams are talking about it. But here we go, we get the first pick coming out as Rise, which I'm actually surprised they did not pick their bottom lane first, because usually picking bottom lane first is the safest thing, because it's kind of hard to counter supports. You can counter ADs, but it's a bit more difficult than countering the other lanes. So. With that being said, Rise, late game, he's just a tank. That is the only way you can describe it. He is a massive tank dealing person. And there is the Nautilus pick, so you were right about that whole thing.
Yeah, see, they're banning out something so he can't really counter jungle because Nautilus he's slow early, but once he gets his W up to level 2 or 3, he should be fine in the jungle. It's just you have to be really careful about that early game where Shyvana and Mundo really excel.
Alright, so let's see what Nato will be picking, and he will be picking up Graves. So how do you think Graves fares against Sivir? Because we will be seeing Graves and Sivir bot.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Shadow pick up Leona. I know I've seen him play Leona quite a few times, so they might be doing a Leona-Graves combo.
With the Cassiopeia coming out, does active game was not found?
I just got that error too.
Okay, well hopefully it loads. If not, we can just spectate. What in the name, right? Ooh, and Sejuani coming out.
I don't know. I'm thinking troll. I don't see it.
I personally don't get that one. Sejuani is probably one of the worst junglers right now. Like
nah, Fiddlesticks is worse, trust me.
Well, Fiddlesticks has the fear. I mean, she does have that stun. Oh, there we go. There is the Udyr. So
something real.
Something real. So we do already have a lot of CC coming out for Team Rammus, and active game not found yet again.
I don't understand what that is, but whatever's. They seem to be able to pick, so I think we're okay.
Yeah. So there's already a lot of CC coming out for eXe Rammus. I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised if Cookfan
both teams actually got a lot of CC. We got Nautilus over here. He's got Snare, Pull, Knock Up.
And there's the Olaf pick, like I was saying before you rudely interrupted me.
Oh, sorry.
Exactly. Maybe you should let me talk. Just maybe.
Okay.
I'm your Dio. You better listen to me. Active game was not found. We get that, Riot. You don't want us to cast this. So you can go sit on something. I won't suggest what, but something. Go sit on Eve's hate spike. And Zillion?
No, trolls. Trolls, I tell you.
Well, it has to be a top, so... Unless they're gonna run Udyr top and they're just switching, but... It looks like we might actually get a Zillion pick.
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you, mate. Oh,
there you go.
And there we go with Kennen.
Told you so. Kennen's actually a really good counter to Olaf because of the range.
So, we will be seeing... Active game was not found. Exactly, we'll be seeing that error. We will be seeing Rise, Nautilus, Graves, Olaf, and Sona coming out for Team Mundo. I completely forgot what I was talking about. And then we got Taric, Sivir, Udyr, Cassiopeia, and Kennen coming out for Rammus. Now, what do you think with that Kennen pick, a top lane, though?
See, I think if Kennen can play it smart, level up his W first, he'll be able to push Olaf out of lane pretty easily. The thing that's really gonna basically, who's gonna win the lane is basically just dependent on the junglers and the ganks, because if Udyr can gank early before Olaf hits 6, Kennen's gonna have a really easy lane on the fact that he already counters Olaf. But I think if Nautilus can come around, maybe sneak an early gank on Kennen, Olaf should be able to win his lane as long as he wards, so he can see that Udyr and he can run away in time.
Now you just said Ken encounters Olaf. Have you ever played that matchup
Yes.
from Olaf's point of view?
I've played for both, and the problem you have with Olaf is it's really hard to get to those people early game when you're not really fed, who sit under tower, and then they have that range to poke you. It's kind of like playing against Nidalee early game as
Nidalee?
Olaf. No, Nidalee.
There's no why, mate.
I don't care.
Okay. Well, no, the reason I ask is I play both Kennen and Olaf top lane, and Kennen versus Olaf, I don't think he counters him as much as people think he does. Everybody thinks it's kind of the same matchup where you pick like Singe, so the enemy team picks Kennen. Now, Kennen is in fact a hard counter to Singe if you are smart enough to realize how Kennen can attack without getting killed. But against Olaf, I'm not too sure. Like, I've played that matchup from both ends, and I can't really say either one counters either one.
Well, I mean, in the situation where we had the best Kennen player and had the best Olaf player, I'd say that Kennen would more than likely win because he can push him out of lane early to the point where Olaf's missing experience, missing CS, and Kennen's just up on everything now.
So why not get... Yeah, but... I can understand what you're saying, but I think that if that happens, it's just bad decision making from the Olaf. Like, that's why.
I mean, I'm just saying, theoretically, best Olaf player versus best Kennen player, I'm going to give it to Kennen just because that early range, and he's probably going to have a little more sustain once he gets his Hex tag. I mean, the only way I could really see Olaf winning the lane is if he can trade evenly, and it's going to be incredibly hard early game unless he can hit those axes, and even then, he's going to be going out of mana really quick if he can't just keep hitting him with the axes.
I think the true nature of that is going to be how good is Olaf with his axes, because his axes do deal pretty decent damage if Olaf maxes his Q first. I don't think he'll have a problem, since he will be able to catch up to Kennen and then use that Reckless Swing. But again, I think it's all situational. But what do you think about bottom lane? You got the Sivir and the Taric against the Graves and the Sona.
I think if Graves can kind of play passively early, he should be alright in the long run. I think Graves has a lot better mid-game than Sivir, in all honesty. Sivir's really, really good in her mid and early, but I think Graves kind of beats her out mid-game personally. In team fights, she may use that spell shield, but Graves has a lot more AoE and burst versus Sivir, where she only has her, boomerang and then her bouncing ability.
Now, did you see that Mundo has 2 skins? Doesn't that mean they insta-win because they have more skins? Alright, that's a yes. GG.
No. Ender isn't technically part of Mundo, so it's 1-to-1. How about that?
Well, they were allowed to pick up. That is true. They were allowed to pick up a sub, so... We do have that new recruit rule that actually Tosh and Wang suggested. If you need a recruit, if you need a sub, you have to grab a recruit.
I'm just curious as to how drunk Mir is right now.
I don't know, when I talk to him, he seemed pretty sober.
He seems sober, but he's always wasted, trust me. Always.
Dude, the other night, after playing, we're gonna drink every time we die.
You guys actually did that?
On the first game, there was we had 20 deaths.
That is, you guys
I did.
Kill yourself like that.
I did.
Wow.
I couldn't make it up the stairs. I had to sleep on the couch. I had to sleep right there. So, as we wait for somebody to load, Animality probably.
Hey, that's not very nice.
I heard Fisher Price modems were a thing of the future.
Fisher Price modems? The what? I don't even...
Alright, we do have both teams starting alright. Alright. So boost spots coming out. Ooh, CV. So the enemy team knows what they're starting with. Good job.
Well...
I mean, I guess it is kind of useful, but...
I'd rather take exhaust on a support pretty much in all situations. Because that's really going to help you win the lane.
what do you think about the Meki pendant coming out from Mir?
I think he's probably going to rush that early tier. Either that or we're going to see a Chalice. A Chalice could be a really good item against Rise. He's got that early harass. He can really poke people in lane. So if he can get that Chalice out, maybe he might, if he's still having trouble, go Merc Treads. He should be able to do fairly well in that matchup because, in essence, Cassiopeia can out-trade Rise pretty easily.
So do you think he's going to straight out rush for Athene's Holy Grail, or do you think he's going to take his time?
Well, I'm not quite sure if he's going for Chalice or Tier, but I think if he goes for Chalice, he'll probably get his boots, maybe something like a Rylaze and a Woda, and then, depending on how much damage Rise is doing, he might finish that Athene's, but I don't think he really needs to rush it considering Olaf is their top, and that's a lot of physical damage.
Alright.
Looks like we have an invade coming from purple team.
Alright, so chat's bugging out for me, that's great, and yeah, we do have purple team coming down for the invade, but there's a ward at red. Shadow Archon did manage...
That is a very nice ward.
Yeah, he did manage to put that ward down. So... and here comes Graves. They do know that they're around that area, but...
And I think that ward will see them coming to that bush, so they're going to play it safe over here.
But they are going to go ahead and take the red, but what Graves doesn't know is... Tarek's sitting in that bush. The dazzle goes out, but they will. Udyr will take that red. So early invade, nicely done. But Nautilus is clearing up blue, kind of slow. He'll make it some point.
Jungle.
So I wonder if he's gonna go straight to Udyr's red after this.
Well, the thing, like I said about earlier, Nautilus jungle not very strong for invading. He's got a slow early. He's gonna need to be very careful. If he goes to his red, he's probably gonna come out really low. He's gonna need to get out of there really fast.
And especially with Udyr. Udyr is one of the faster junglers, and right now he is going to red. They did drop the CV, so they do know that he is there. So Udyr did skip his wolf, but I think Nautilus is gonna have to back out and go to his own jungle. So
yeah.
Alright, so this Ken and Olaf lane, right now we do see that Olaf is kinda low. He does manage to eat a few shurikens, so I don't know, you might be right, but I personally think Olaf will win that lane. Well, maybe not the lane, but overall he'll beat Kennen. So now we wait. So what do you think about the Rise Cassiopeia matchup? You think anyone has the direct upper hand?
Well, in pretty much every situation, if Cass can land...
Oh, meanwhile, we do have Udyr and Rammus fighting the jungle. Rise does come up. He will get into the fight, but Cassiopeia will push him out. We might have Nautilus die to first blood right here, but he does flash over that wall and try to get away, but Udyr will find him again. And he does have bear stance up, so he can... and he is going in on Nautilus, but Kennen is coming around, and now Nautilus is in a bad spot.
The jukes! The jukes! Oh, but Cassiopeia is going to see him walking in this bush here.
She overshoots the poison. My words. And she does blow flash as well, and she will pick up that first blood. Just need to do one more auto attack. The poison does go down, and Cassiopeia will pick up that first blood, so...
This lane's going to be very difficult for Rise now that Cassiopeia has blue.
Spam all of the poison. But he is up by 2 CS.
That means nothing.
Well, right now it means nothing, but if Cassiopeia doesn't bridge that gap in that 2 CS, 20, but we do have Olaf and Kennen going in top. Udyr and Kennen going in top, and that will cause Olaf to blow his ghost and go back. So...
Got a 500 gold advantage. Slight advantage for Team Mundo right now.
Well, 400 of that is because of the first blood.
Yes.
So... I'm actually wondering how bottom lane's gonna play, and I actually wonder why Leona wasn't picked. I know Shadow Archon loves Leona, so...
Well, Tark is actually pretty good at keeping those kind of really aggressive supports off of his carries with the stun. So usually, if he wants to, he can just ward the bush, stun the carry. Leona would jump on him, and then his carry could lay some damage down on their carry because they're stunned.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, Leona does have those 2 stuns when she's level 6. Right now, Sona is going out for a ward. The Dazzle does go down, and Sipper will find her. The Boomerang Blade does go out, and that forces the heal. And it looks like she might get away as the CV did go down, and they did see her try to get out of there. She did blow a flash as well. That little short distance flash from the bush to about that ruby staff, I guess you'd call it, that wannabe lamp post. So this is so much better than casting alone.
Forever alone.
Yeah, exactly. I was casting Forever alone during
Ooh,
something.
That lane gank up top lane.
Yeah, we do have Udyr behind Olaf, and he is running in. He will land the stone fair since the ignite does go out. And now Cannon and Udyr both teaming up with Olaf. Cannon does land the stun, and they will get him before he can go to his tower. So that is one more kill for Team Rammus, bringing them up to a 1,300 gold advantage 6 minutes in.
Gotta give that to Wang. Does a really nice time W on the attack. He was set up. He was ready to go for a deer. He had that W, the proc from his W stun up, so he was able to get that stun out really easily. And he went ahead and ignited when they first started fighting.
Yeah. I wish I knew where my earbuds worked. I like casting with my earbuds instead of my headset, but I cannot find them. Sad, Vinny. So now we do see Olaf returning to lane with a null magic mantle, 2 wards, a pot, and a longsword. I wonder how come he hasn't rushed for
this ganking mid.
Oh god, there's a ganking mid. And Cassiopeia will get called with by Nautilus. She will land the ult to kill Rise and Udyr. Wait. What? She didn't pick up the kill on Rise?
Yep. It looks like Udyr probably picked it up with Phoenix Stance.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That was some great play by Team Mundo right there. That was amazing Cassiopeia ult, especially right when Nautilus pulled. He was able to turn around, ult them both, get the stun off, and then the level up saved her from, I think it was Slacker's Ignite.
Yeah, that's why I actually thought when she turned around and ulted that her ult ended up picking up the kill. Because Petrifying Glaze does do quite a bit amount of damage, so I thought she ended up picking the kill, but Udyr actually got the Rise kill, and she got the Nautilus kill, so...
Sorry, Udyr, Mundo. Lol.
I said Udyr.
I know, it's Mundo.
No, it's Udyr.
What? No.
Udyr's the jungler, mate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused.
Alright, we did just see Nautilus we did see Udyr take Nautilus, now you got me all mixed up. But like I was saying before, I wonder how come Olaf is not building a heart of gold and a Philostone as he is getting pushed out of lane. And those 2 items give you health, Philostone gives you mana and health regen. Plus they give you 2 gold per 10, so I'm actually surprised why he's still going for what I'm going to presume to be either probably a Wriggles for that life steal, but I'm actually surprised why he doesn't have the Philostone. Meanwhile, we do have Udyr and Cassiopeia coming bottom. There is a ward, so they do see that is going down. The crescendo is still safe. She does crescendo and stuns 3 of them, but they're keeping up. She speeds Graves up, but she does get taken out by Udyr, giving Udyr a killing spree and bringing them up even farther with 5 kills, and now they might be going for Dragon, and it looks like they will be, so...
That was a nice 4-man gank on bottom by Ramus. And another thing I want to point out, Vinny, Olaf is probably going to rush Hexdrinker against Kennen.
And then he did go for that Hexdrinker. So I'm surprised he's yet to build any sustain whatsoever in lane.
I think what he's really trying to do is just get those items so he can level, he can fight with his ultimate, and maybe when he wins a few of those fights, he'll be able to just come back in lane.
So speaking of going back in lane, Sivir did back after that dragon, and she will be coming back with 2 Doran's Blades, a Vamp Scepter, Boots 2, and 3 more potions. So I'm actually, let's see, what can Graves possibly going back and get? Graves does go back and buy the BF Sword and the Vamp Scepter with an additional ward, while he still has the Boots and the 3 pots from originally buying, so...
I think another thing you need to point out, Kennen is actually going AD against this Olaf. So this Hex Drinker is not going to be very useful. I think Olaf was just assuming Kennen was going AP and wasn't really looking at his items, so in essence, Kennen should be able to really just dish out this physical damage.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering why there is no AP, and I'm glad he picked that up. But right now, he will go on Olaf. He does what was slicing Maelstrom, and now Olaf and Nautilus are chasing him, and Olaf will pick up the kill. And
wow,
barely managed
looks like
to
that
stay
Hex
up.
Drinker, paid off. Even though it's AD Kennen. It was a nice play by Team
Alright,
Mundo.
so I was told to bring up that Udyr's jungling Phoenix, which you can all see, but he does have a Wriggles, and that's not normal. What did I miss within the jungling community?
Well, the thing you usually want to do... Well, actually, go ahead and cast the bottom play real quick.
But yeah, we do have, I can't even think. We do have Tarek and Udyr going in on Sona and Graves, and Sona will land the crescendo underneath the tower, but all 3 of them will barely get out, even though Graves' blue is all. Sivir does manage to get out of there with still about half health, but what's up with that Udyr and Wriggles?
Well, the way you want to play Udyr jungle Phoenix is the standard meta now is you want to go Boots, rush to Heart of Gold, and then go into Wit's End, because you're really not getting much out of Wriggles itself. And looks like Cassiopeia killed Rise.
Yeah, Cassiopeia did flash onto Rise using the Petrifying Glaze. He did turn around in time, but the slow was enough for Cassiopeia to use her Twing Fang after he was poisoned. But right now we do have Nautilus camping top, and he will be coming in on Kennen yet again as Olaf is trying to keep him detained. He will pull Kennen, and slow him down. Olaf connects with his axe, but he is sitting at that tower with about 100 health right now. Meanwhile, down bottom, Graves face check the enemy team in the bush from what it looked like. And
back at top, looks like Indy's probably going to pick up this free kill with his ultimate. Yeah.
And there goes the dredge line, and Olaf makes sure he finishes it with a reckless swing, so...
See, I'm not sure what happened earlier. Ender actually had his ultimate when we came to gank earlier, so I'm not quite sure why he didn't use it just then. Wow. As
Cassiopeia walks right by that Nautilus back into the bush, she will land her poison on Olaf. The Hexdrinker does proc, and he will use... he does use Ghost to get out of there without dying, so he is slowly coming back. As when you look at the farm, he's at 61 with 2 kills to Kennen's 75 farm with no kills. So
yes, it was a very good job with the Nautilus helping out that lane, because as you could see, Olaf was really getting pushed out early and Kennen had a really easy lane, but now that Olaf's got some money, he should be able to do fine in this lane.
And meanwhile, we do have Udyr coming back into Nautilus' jungle. He will pop a ward. Looks like he will be trying to steal blue. There's nobody's there to stop it, but Nautilus is heading there, so if Udyr, for some reason, does not hurry up, which should not be a problem on Udyr, yeah, he will get that blue, and Nautilus shows up just in time to clean up the last creep, so... I'm actually surprised why he stuck with... why he, picked... Oh, sorry, he was second pick. That's why. It doesn't say why he picked Nautilus when Udyr was out, but Udyr was picked right after him, so that's my answer to my own dumb question. But is he gonna go for Udyr's blue? It looked like he wanted to, but instead he's gonna go for his red, so... Alright, really quick, what do you think of the 5k gold advantage? Well, 4.7k gold advantage this early.
I think right now, if Team Rammus can get maybe another early dragon, pick up a few more kills, they should be able to maybe group mid, group bottom, get a few more kills, push the lane out pretty hard, and really be able to secure this win.
Meanwhile, we do have Udyr and Cassiopeia coming back bottom, and there's a ward there, so they do know that they are there. And I don't think this 4-man gank will work, but Ender is sitting in that bush. He does manage to find Olaf. 2 stuns go down. The crescendo does go down. As does Petrifying Glaze, Ender does get caught, and Udyr will pick up another kill. As Rise slowly manages to walk bottom, but he is sitting on a ward, so they might turn and go in on him. As Cassiopeia does land the poison, he is low on mana, so he will get brought to about 1100 health after that engagement. And I guess Dragon will be up? Yep.
Yeah, that was a very nice play by Team Rammus. They had Dragon time, they knew Dragon was about to spawn, so they just went ahead and 4-man gank bottom. That way they could pick up this really easy Dragon.
Yes, that's 2 dragons before the 20-minute mark, so the next dragon will spawn around 22, I think it was 22:10-ish. So if the game goes on that long, there will be yet another dragon in play. But right now it's looking pretty grim, as it is 2-9 score-wise with Team who'chamacallit, Team Rammus in the lead. So this will be hard for them to come back with. But if Olaf can manage to stay up in his lane, keep getting the farm going, I don't think there will be a massive problem. So you can just ult through all that CC and stick to Sivir or Cassiopeia and just completely melt them.
Well, I think the main problem is the fact that they have Graves, who's really mid-game, and Sivir's really early mid-game too, so neither teams really have a late game when it comes to AD carry, so it's very important about this mid-game and this early game happening right now.
Alright, so we did just see that fail gank up on top where both Kennen and Olaf almost fell to each other actually, but I'm actually kind of surprised that Udyr just didn't completely go right down for him, considering Udyr did have almost full health and Olaf had nothing. But Kennen will push that lane to the tower and then presumably back. And I think his next item might be a Thornmail. He does have the chain vest and the cloth armor. So that being said, he might also be going for Ninja Tabby, considering he has not upgraded the boots 2 yet. So
I don't think rushing a Thornmail would be very smart by Kennen here. Yeah, I mean, Olaf's true damage just makes him such a threat in the lane. It's not really the physical damage that's as much of a problem.
Plus, he does have his steroid that gives him attack damage and lifesteal. So I cannot say that'd be a really cost-effective item against Olaf this way. Right now, Kennen and Olaf are trading. Olaf does get stunned. The slicing Maelstrom does go down. The Hex Drinker pops, and Olaf will finally pick up the kill with his Reckless Swing. And it looks like he won't die to minions here thanks to that life stream he has. So
right now, I mean, we're just seeing those early ganks by Nautilus really helped Olaf win that lane. I mean, he was just able to go out, flat out 1v1 and have no problems now.
And right now we do have Olaf and Cassiopeia waiting for Team Mundo's blue to spawn. It has yet to spawn, so I think they have a timer on that one as well. But right now we do see that Kennen does go back and picks up his Phage. Meanwhile, Olaf did go back and pick up a Vamp Scepter and a Longsword. So you think we're finally going to see the Wriggles coming out for Olaf, considering he has all 3 of the components?
I don't think a Wriggles would be very smart, personally, because you don't really just want to have a lot of mid-game items. I mean, he can build that Hex Drinker late, but how efficient is that going to be?
Meanwhile, we do have Udyr and Cassiopeia fighting over Nautilus's blue, and they will eventually just stop for a second as Kennen has come back to lane. He will join in on the fight. Meanwhile, Rise is here as well, and Olaf actually takes the blue from Rise.
That fail smite by Udyr. Sad face.
It's okay, he tried.
Well, he smited it to I think 1 hit, and then Olaf just picked it up.
Yeah, Olaf picked it up with a basic attack. So
That's gonna be very, very hard lane for Kennen now, even more so.
Oh wow, Nautilus and Rise end up pushing Cassiopeia back, and she will get dangerously low to about 60 health with that ignite, so I'm actually quite surprised nobody flashed in and tried to go for one more attack. Oh yeah, because she flashed out, that's why. That is why. So we do have Cassiopeia going back and buying a Rod of Ages. So she does have that tier plus the Rod of Ages, so she will be getting an Abyssal. And I mean...
A what?
Not Abyssal, sorry, Archangels.
Yeah, she'll probably build that out later. I think we're probably going to see either a Riley's Crystal Scepter next or a Will of the Ancients.
Yeah. I'm actually quite surprised we haven't seen a Revolver, actually, from either player. But we do have Rise. Oh, meanwhile, Kennen does go down. Does try to dive Olaf underneath his turret. The Ignite does end up picking up the kill, as he did use his Slicing Maelstrom and a Shuriken before that on top of the Ignite, and that will pick up the kill, shutting down Olaf. So he does get 366 gold for that kill. That is not too shabby. I'm actually looking at the creep farm right here, and I am actually quite surprised that some people are so close, and then some people are so far ahead of others. Like, for instance, you look at Rise, he's at 105 to Cassiopeia's 121. So there's, 16 minion difference, which isn't that bad. But then again, you look at Olaf, who's at 103 to Kennen's 143. So even though he does have those 2 kills, with
46. Go ahead. No, you.
Okay. I was gonna say, with these 3 dragons that Team Rammus has picked up, Kennen's just so far ahead. When you look at the overall gold wise, Rammus is up almost 10k gold. They're sitting at about 8k gold, so I'm actually quite surprised at just having grouped up and completely pushed a lane down.
Well, if you actually look at the players' gold, you'll see that Kennen is a good 1,500 ahead of Olaf. It's a lot. Now, those dragons have really helped him out in lane, and on top of the fact that he's just out-farming Olaf very hard.
As Kennen does get an at-mid. Kennen does end up going back and buying at-mids.
And a phage.
Well, he already had the phage, so...
Oh, that AD Kennen.
That, exactly. That at-mid is currently sitting at 28 attack damage. So, that is a very weird 80 Kennen top. I don't think I've yet to see that.
It's really effective against, like you said, Kennen really counters Singe well. Yeah. And 80 Kennen is just really good against Singe.
So we do have Nautilus sitting here in the bush, and they do know he's there. As Olaf did see him, the Clairvoyance does go down. He will try to get away. He will, with Rise's help, using that Rune Prison to stop Olaf from charging in there and stunning him. So,
good dear.
I said Kennen, didn't I?
No, you said Olaf. It's okay.
Yeah, I can't think. I've played way too much StarCraft the past 2 days. Meanwhile, we do see Kennen pushing Olaf out of rain. Oh god. Out of lane. I have to cast another one too after this. Yeah.
It's okay.
This is my warm-up cast. For all of YouTube to see. This will be going on YouTube sometime tonight. So
really good aggression coming out from bottom lane.
Yeah, bottom lane, that Dazzle did go out on Graves and forced Sona to blow her crescendo, which probably wasn't the best move, but I think it was probably needed to save Graves' life there. As down bottom, there really hasn't been too much action outside of the 2 4-man ganks. As we do see Sivir with 1 kill, 3 assists, and then Graves with his no kill, 1 death. But we do have Kennen, Nautilus, Cassiopeia, and Olaf all fighting for the blue, so hopefully Team Rammus can pick it up. The Slicing Maelstrom does go down, and they will just hunt Cannon down, and Olaf will pick up the kill. The Petronic Glaive doesn't go out on Olaf, though. Rise shows up, and Olaf will be running out of there. Actually, he can't decide if he wants to go in or not. Rise does blow flash to get closer to Cassiopeia, but Olaf will
that ward
him, and he will end up picking up that kill, as Olaf just sits there helplessly to watch. So I'm actually quite surprised at that trade. If now Olaf just takes the blue.
Well, I think that really shows the Team Mundo is not totally out of this yet. I mean, they were able to go 2 for 2 and against Team Rammus' really big lead, so I think they can come back here.
Yeah. Rise did manage to shut down Cassiopeia, so he did manage for that extra 400 gold. So I'm actually quite surprised we haven't seen him pick up his Archangels yet. He does have his Rod of Ages built. So
It's a really late Rod of Ages, 26 minutes, but I think what Rise should do here is either go for an Abyssal or a Banshee's Veil next.
either that or I know he will end up building a Racial Shroud, but I do not think that's the right response right about now. Even though the Team Rammus is stacked for AD when you think about it. As Cannon and Sivir are going to be the hardest hit. Meanwhile, Udyr does go bottom, and Graves will get away with that. The buckshot does go down, but Sivir does end up dying. He will flash, and Udyr will just keep hunting him down. Udyr does get the stun. Shortrangus goes out. Graves does blow his ultimate, but Sivir will pick up the kill. So this is not looking so good, as they will lose their second tower, and that will increase Team Rammus' gold lead by over 10,000. Right now, Olaf and Cannon are fighting up top, and I'm waiting to see what will happen. Rise, holy crap. Cannon does pick up the kill with his Lightning Rush. So I'm pretty much thinking this one's over at this point. They're 10 kills down, they're 10k down.
3 dragons.
Yeah.
2 turrets.
Exactly.
I'm
actually quite surprised there was not a Baron attempt after that one, with Rise being the only one standing. So
I don't think they were really trying for a Baron right there, since they were all bottom.
And so yeah. And then upon completion of this game, upon completion of this game, we will be streaming, what do we have? We have Lee Sin against Udyr. Yeah, we do have Lee Sin against Udyr, so for everybody viewing that's not in either one of these two games, well, that next matchup, you guys can stick around and watch, and I promise I won't get names wrong. Promise. But right now, we do have Team Rammus going for their 4th dragon of the game.
Yes.
So, yeah, exactly. That brings them to almost 1,100 above their opponents, and that is just no bueno, as they are going in on Rise.
He's dead.
And yeah, he will fall, as Udyr's just about to catch up to him, and he will catch up to him with that bear stance. The Root Prison does go down, but he's just in so much trouble, as he did end up getting stunned by Cannon for them to pick up the kill, and now they're grouping around Baron, and they are warding, so
I mean, what Team Rammus really wants to do right now is just secure objectives, secure kills, and just push to win after they clean up a few people.
And right now they have been given that opportunity, as Rise is down. They Team Mundo will show up, and they do check that Baron. Team Rammus will get it.
This looks to be a good game.
Yeah, this looks to be a good game. I couldn't even think of what was going on. I was like, hey, they're slicing Maelstrom, and Crescendo goes out.
That was a really nice Cassiopeia ult, stunning 3 of them.
Yeah, she did manage to get 3 of them, so. But with that tower going down, and most of the team still dead, minus Rise, they might be able to pick up this tower, and maybe the next one if they play it safe. Right now, Cannon is tanking the tower, so they're asking if it's a best of 3.
No.
I don't know, I wasn't informed it was a best of 3.
If we're given an hour time slot, it's not.
I wasn't informed that it was a best of 3.
Yeah, they didn't say anything, so...
Well, there
assuming.
was a surrender. So
There
there
it
was the
is.
surrender. Somebody just messaged me.
Boom. And GG. Team Rammus.
Yeah, that was GG. And let's find out what's up with that. If it was if they do want to do a best of 3, we can just have somebody, we can just have one of the games. Ooh, I do have a new logo out on my page, so. Ooh, this is a nice logo, mate.
Let me see.
No.
What?
I will be sending it. And everybody that's on my stream that is looking at this, Alexis just made this for me, so.
Aww.
Alright, I sent it in Skype.
I see it now on the screen, that's okay.
Shadow Archon did invite me to another game, so it no longer exists. So.
Well, if we're doing best of 3, we're gonna have to push back the Descent for Zudir game because
Or
they're
I'll just
scheduled to
hop
play
in the
right.
second version of that. I kind of wish I was known.
I'm gonna go update the ladder really quick. That puts Rammus at 10 points.
Alright, let me cut that one.